Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night feeling restless, only to lie there wondering why your body just won't cooperate like it used to? Maybe your muscles feel weaker than before, or you notice you're not bouncing back as quickly after a simple walk. Many of us quietly accept these changes as just part of getting older. But what if that's not the whole story? What if there's something simple we're overlooking that could help us sleep deeper and wake up feeling stronger? Sleep troubles and muscle weakness are often shrugged off as inevitable, but they quietly chip away at our independence and joy day by day. It's easy to feel stuck or even forgotten when your body doesn't respond the way it once did. But the truth is, there are gentle ways to support yourself that many people don't know about. In today's video, I'm going to share a natural, easy-to-make drink you can enjoy before bedtime, something that can help improve your sleep quality and restore your strength by morning. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll discover a simple habit that could make a big difference in how you feel every day. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. It's such a familiar picture, yet it never seems to get easier. You go to bed at a reasonable hour, doing your best to wind down for the night. Maybe you've brushed your teeth, slipped into your favorite pajamas, and even listened to a bit of soft music or read a few pages of a cherished book. For a while, it feels like you might drift off peacefully. But somewhere in the deep quiet of the night, maybe at 1 a.m., maybe at 3, you find yourself wide awake, staring at the ceiling. Your mind wanders, replaying old memories or worrying about things you wish you could simply let go. You toss, you turn, you fluff the pillows, hoping for a little relief. Sometimes you even get up for a glass of water or a trip to the bathroom, convinced that's all you need. But when you crawl back under the covers, your mind and body refuse to settle. As the hours tick by, sleep becomes a distant wish. You start to dread the approaching morning. And when dawn finally comes, instead of feeling refreshed, you wake up heavy, as if the weight of a long night is sitting on your shoulders. You might even wonder, how is it possible to spend so much time in bed and still feel utterly exhausted? This is a reality for countless women, especially after the age of 65. It's one of those quiet struggles that people don't often talk about, but it affects daily life in so many subtle ways. Less energy for the grandkids, more aches after walking to the mailbox, and a sense of frustration that lingers throughout the day. Most of us, at some point, chalk it up to getting older. It's just age, we say. That's how it goes. Maybe you've even shared stories with friends over coffee, laughing about sleepless nights or admitting that you feel like you're dragging your feet through molasses most mornings. Deep down, though, the worry remains. Will this ever get better? Am I just supposed to accept it? But let's pause for a moment. What if there's another explanation? What if the answer isn't only in how old you are or how many years you've walked this earth? What if there's something small, something you do or don't do, right before bed that quietly shapes your nights and, in turn, your mornings? That brings us to a gentle question, one that flips the usual script. Is it possible that your evening habits, especially what you drink before bed, might hold the key to a deeper, more restorative sleep? This isn't a claim pulled out of thin air. Scientists have been paying more attention to the nightly routines of older adults, searching for clues in everything from blue light exposure to room temperature. Yet, one of the simplest, most overlooked factors is hydration. More specifically, what you put in your cup before saying goodnight. You see, as we age, our bodies undergo subtle but meaningful changes. One of the most important is how our sleep cycles become lighter and more fragmented. Hormones like melatonin, which is used to keep our nights steady and sound, decrease with age. Muscles, too, become less responsive, and we're more sensitive to fluctuations in blood sugar, stress, and dehydration. It's a complicated dance, and small missteps, a late cup of coffee, a sugary dessert, even a salty dinner, can disrupt that delicate balance. But the good news is, this also means that gentle, positive changes can have a surprisingly big impact. Take, for example, the ritual of drinking a soothing bedtime beverage. While it might sound simple, research has shown that warm, non-caffeinated drinks can calm the nervous system, trigger the release of relaxation hormones, and even help regulate body temperature. Ingredients like magnesium and calcium, often found in certain herbal teas or warm milk, are known to support muscle relaxation and prevent the nighttime cramps that so many older women quietly endure. Chamomile tea, for instance, has been used for generations as a natural sleep aid, while tart cherry juice has been linked to increased melatonin levels and improved sleep quality. Even a humble cup of warm water with a squeeze of lemon can gently hydrate and settle an uneasy stomach. Let's look at this in a practical, everyday way. Imagine you make a simple commitment. Each evening, about 30 minutes before bed, you prepare a cup of warm, unsweetened almond milk sprinkled with a pinch of cinnamon. It's not complicated. The warmth soothes you, the gentle spice calms your digestion, and the nutrients in the milk quietly support your muscles and bones while you sleep. Over time, your body starts to recognize this as a signal. It's time to unwind. Paired with a few minutes of slow, mindful breathing and a break from television or phone screens, this small change can help you transition smoothly into deeper rest. This isn't about magic potions or quick fixes. It's about reclaiming a sense of agency over your nights and, by extension, your days. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. There's a woman in our community named Eleanor. She's 73, with a gentle smile and the kind of laugh that brightens any room. For years, Eleanor struggled with poor sleep. She would fall asleep easily enough, but wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, unable to find her way back to rest. The following day, her muscles ached, her energy lagged, and she felt too tired to join friends for her morning walk. She worried that these sleepless nights were just a part of growing old, that there was nothing she could do. But Eleanor is nothing if not curious. One day, after hearing about the benefits of nighttime routines, she decided to experiment. Instead of simply hoping for better sleep, she made a cup of chamomile tea before bed. No sugar, just a slice of lemon. She sat by the window, watched the stars, and let herself truly unwind. The first night, she still woke up, but she felt more peaceful. By the end of the week, she noticed she was sleeping a bit longer before waking. After 2 weeks, her mornings felt lighter, her muscles less stiff, and her spirit more optimistic. She still has restless nights now and then, because let's face it, nobody sleeps perfectly forever, but now she knows she can influence how she feels, and that makes all the difference. Eleanor's story isn't unique, and it doesn't require you to change your life overnight. It's about small steps, a warm drink, a moment of peace, a gentle signal to your body that rest is on its way. If you're struggling with restless nights or groggy mornings, maybe tonight is the perfect time to try something new. Prepare a comforting beverage, savor the quiet, and trust that even the smallest acts of care can ripple through your body and spirit. Remember, aging is not about surrendering to discomfort, it's about learning new ways to nurture yourself. You deserve deep sleep and strong mornings. If one small change can make even a little difference, isn't it worth a try? Permit yourself to experiment, to tend gently to your needs, and to find new rhythms that support your well-being. Tonight, when you lift that warm cup to your lips, know that you're not alone. Women all across the country are discovering that the path to better sleep and brighter mornings often begins with a single, gentle step. Your comfort matters. Your rest matters. And your story is still unfolding, full of promise for tomorrow. Have you ever noticed how, over time, our routines begin to shape our days and nights in ways we hardly realize? Maybe you remember years ago, falling into bed after a busy day and drifting off within minutes. No fuss, no rituals, just the sweet relief of deep sleep. But as we grow older, things change. Many women find themselves following all the familiar advice. Going to bed early, turning off the television at a reasonable hour, keeping the bedroom cool and quiet, and even avoiding caffeine after lunchtime. Yet night after night, sleep still doesn't come easily. You lie there in the stillness, sometimes staring at the ceiling, other times listening to the soft tick of a clock or the distant sound of a car passing by. You do everything right, but the rest you crave feels just out of reach. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's easy to accept this as normal, a part of growing older, something everyone goes through. Friends commiserate, doctors offer practical tips, and you try them all, hoping for a miracle. But the truth is, there's a quiet frustration in knowing you're doing your best, and still waking up tired. Over time, you might start to wonder if you're missing something important, some simple solution hiding in plain sight. This is where the real question comes in, the one that gently nudges at the edges of what we've always believed. What if the problem isn't just how many hours you sleep, but what you drink before bed? It's a question that seems almost too simple. After all, how much difference could a glass of water, a cup of tea, or a warm drink make? Most people don't think twice about their evening beverage. It's a comfort, a habit, sometimes even an afterthought. But science, and the quiet wisdom of lived experience, tell us that these little details can be far more powerful than we give them credit for. Have you ever thought that something as simple as a drink could transform your sleep quality? Let's pause here because this is a shift from what most of us have been told. For decades, the focus has been on sleep hygiene. Your bedtime, your mattress, your light exposure, your exercise. But what about the chemistry happening inside your body? The subtle dance of hormones, minerals, and nervous system signals. As it turns out, what you consume in the hour before bed can either quietly disrupt your sleep or gently guide you toward the restorative rest you need. Let's look at what happens inside the body as we age. After 65, the production of melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone, begins to slow. You become more sensitive to even slight changes in blood sugar, hydration, and electrolytes. A drink high in sugar can trigger a blood sugar spike, followed by a crash that wakes you up at 2 or 3 a.m., heart pounding. Too much caffeine, even earlier in the day, lingers in your system and keeps your mind alert when it should be winding down. The simple act of skipping a drink altogether can lead to mild dehydration, which causes dry mouth, restless legs, or muscle cramps during the night. But the flip side is hopeful. With intention and a little knowledge, you can use what you drink to support your body's natural sleep rhythms. Some drinks, like warm milk, chamomile tea, or tart cherry juice, have been shown to help regulate sleep hormones, relax muscles, and reduce nighttime awakenings. For instance, warm milk contains both tryptophan and calcium, which promote relaxation. Chamomile tea has gentle sedative effects, lowering anxiety and soothing the digestive system. Tart cherry juice, surprisingly, is one of the few natural sources of melatonin, and studies have found that people who drink it in the evening fall asleep faster and wake less during the night. The key is not just what you drink, but when and how. Many older adults find relief by sipping a calming beverage 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This ritual tells your mind and body it's time to transition, to release the worries of the day, and to prepare for real rest. Imagine this. You turn down the lights, step into your kitchen, and make a cup of herbal tea. No sugar, just the gentle scent of chamomile rising with the steam. As you drink, you slow down, breathe deeply, and maybe even reflect on one small thing you're grateful for that day. This moment becomes a signal, a kind of invitation to your body to unwind. But sometimes, the science isn't enough. You want to know it works for real people, not just in studies. Let me share a story about Linda, a retired nurse from Ohio. Linda had always been active, even after retirement, but in her late 60s, she started experiencing trouble sleeping. She tried everything: meditation, cutting out coffee, blackout curtains. Still, she'd wake up at 2 a.m., unable to fall back asleep and spend her mornings achy and out of sorts. One evening, while talking to her daughter on the phone, Linda mentioned her struggles. Her daughter, who'd been reading about sleep, suggested something simple: a cup of warm milk with a touch of honey before bed. At first, Linda was skeptical. She'd never been one for bedtime routines, and the idea seemed almost childish. But she promised to try. That night, she warmed a cup of milk, added half a teaspoon of honey, and sat quietly at her kitchen table while she drank. She found herself slowing down, feeling comforted by the warmth. She went to bed and, to her surprise, slept straight through until 5 a.m. It wasn't a miracle cure. Some nights were still difficult, but over the weeks, Linda found she was sleeping longer, waking with less stiffness, and having more energy for her morning walks. Her doctor even noticed an improvement at her next checkup. Linda credits that simple drink, and the quiet ritual around it, with helping her reclaim her nights. It's easy to overlook small changes because they don't seem dramatic enough to matter. But sometimes, the most profound transformations begin with a gentle shift, a new question, a fresh perspective, or a quiet act of self-care. So, if you find yourself frustrated by restless nights or tired mornings, maybe it's time to ask a new question. What if you could support your sleep, not by adding another pill or changing your entire routine, but simply by changing what you drink before bed? What if this tiny act could become your anchor, a comforting ritual that tells your body it's time to rest and renew? Tonight, permit yourself to try something different. Choose a calming beverage, whether it's warm milk, herbal tea, or even just warm water with lemon, and savor it, slowly, as a gift to yourself. Notice how your body responds, not just that first night, but over time. You might find that this gentle change opens the door to better sleep, brighter mornings, and a renewed sense of well-being. You deserve restful nights and energetic days. Your body is still capable of change, still open to gentle care. Let this be your invitation to step outside old assumptions and discover what's possible, one small, nourishing habit at a time. Remember, sometimes the smallest changes bring the greatest comfort. Trust yourself, be patient with your body, and know that you're not alone on this journey. There's hope in every quiet cup, and tomorrow can always feel a little brighter than today. Let's talk about something simple, comforting, and, surprisingly, deeply powerful. A drink that's been quietly helping people sleep better for generations. It isn't a medicine, it doesn't come with complicated instructions, and you don't need a prescription. Instead, it's a gentle nightly ritual, a warm cup of golden milk, sometimes known as turmeric milk. Of course, there are other helpful options: chamomile tea, warm lemon honey water, and even coconut water. But for today, let's pour ourselves a cup of golden milk and discover why so many have come to call it their bedtime miracle. Golden milk is easy to prepare. All you need is a cup of milk, dairy or unsweetened almond if you prefer, a teaspoon of turmeric, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and just a touch of honey for sweetness. Some people like to add a pinch of black pepper, not for taste, but to help your body absorb the turmeric more efficiently. You warm it gently, stir it, and let the comforting scent fill your kitchen. For many older women, just the act of preparing golden milk in the quiet of the evening becomes a signal to the mind and body. It's time to wind down. But what makes this humble drink so helpful for sleep and morning strength? Let's take a closer look at what's happening beneath the surface, through the lens of both tradition and modern science. 1. Calming the body and nerves. One of the secrets of golden milk, and many other soothing bedtime drinks, lies in its ability to help the body relax. Warm liquids themselves naturally calm us, but the specific ingredients in golden milk take it a step further. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which has been shown to reduce inflammation throughout the body. Why does that matter? Chronic inflammation is linked to aches, pains, and restlessness, all things that can make it harder to settle down at night. The gentle warmth and spice of turmeric helps soothe muscles and joints, giving your body a sense of comfort. Cinnamon, another key ingredient, supports healthy blood sugar levels. Unstable blood sugar can lead to nighttime wakefulness, heart palpitations, or anxiety, all of which disrupt restful sleep. Cinnamon helps keep things steady, so your body isn't sending you little emergency signals while you sleep. 2. Balancing melatonin for deeper sleep. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone. It's what tells your body it's time for bed. But as we age, melatonin production naturally decreases, which is one of the reasons older adults have more trouble falling and staying asleep. Here's where warm milk, whether dairy or unsweetened almond, plays a special role. Milk contains the amino acid tryptophan, a building block for serotonin, which in turn helps create melatonin. Drinking warm milk in the evening gives your body more of what it needs to produce this vital sleep hormone, so the transition to rest becomes easier and more natural. Turmeric and cinnamon, as it turns out, may also help support healthy melatonin levels by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, two common obstacles to deep sleep as we get older. 3. Electrolytes for muscle recovery and energy. How often have you woken up with stiff legs, sore muscles, or even nighttime cramps? It's more common than you might think. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at storing and using electrolytes, the minerals that help our muscles contract, relax, and recover. Here's where the golden milk shines again. Both dairy and plant-based milk contain magnesium and potassium, two key electrolytes. Turmeric, too, is rich in minerals. This combination helps your muscles rest, repair, and recharge during sleep. Studies have shown that older adults who increase their magnesium intake report fewer instances of insomnia and muscle cramps. Magnesium, in particular, is well known for its ability to calm the nervous system, reduce anxiety, and support deep muscle relaxation at night. One study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that elderly people who were supplemented with magnesium had better sleep quality, slept longer, and woke less during the night. Another study from the European Review for Medical and Pharmacological Sciences noted that curcumin from turmeric may protect the brain from age-related changes and even boost mood, which further supports restful sleep. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 4. The power of ritual. It's easy to overlook how much our bodies and minds respond to routine, especially in the evening. When you prepare a warm, soothing drink each night, your brain begins to associate that act with rest and recovery. The gentle sense of cinnamon and turmeric, the warmth in your hands, the comfort of sitting quietly in your favorite chair, all of these become cues that tell your nervous system, it's time to let go. This is something science has confirmed over and over. Establishing a regular, calming bedtime ritual is one of the best ways to signal to your body that it's safe to relax and drift into deep sleep. 5. Gentle on the stomach, nourishing for the soul. Many women over 65 find that heavy or acidic foods before bed can cause heartburn or discomfort. Golden milk, in contrast, is soothing to the digestive tract. Turmeric is even used in many cultures to ease indigestion. A small, warm cup won't overload your system. Instead, it brings gentle nourishment. Plus, the act of caring for yourself, taking the time to create something warm and healing, has an emotional benefit. It's a small, loving gesture that says, I deserve rest. I'm worthy of comfort. Sometimes that feeling is just as powerful as the science itself. 6. Simplicity, science, and hope. What's truly remarkable about golden milk, or any of the bedtime drinks you choose, is how easy it is to try. No expensive supplements, no complex instructions. Just a few ingredients, a quiet moment, and a willingness to treat yourself with kindness. You could choose chamomile tea for its mild sedative effects, supported by centuries of use and modern studies showing it can shorten the time it takes to fall asleep. Or perhaps you prefer a cup of warm water with lemon and a bit of honey, which hydrates and soothes the throat. Even coconut water, with its natural electrolytes, can help restore muscle balance if you're feeling depleted after a long day. Science supports these simple habits. The National Institutes of Health highlights magnesium, potassium, and calming herbs like chamomile as important tools for improving sleep quality, especially in older adults. And doctors have long encouraged warm milk as a sleep aid for people of all ages. A gentle invitation to try. Maybe you've never been one for bedtime rituals, or perhaps you're used to skipping an evening drink for fear of waking up to use the bathroom. But sometimes, a small positive change makes all the difference. Start with a half cup if you're worried about sleep interruptions. Focus on the warmth, the taste, the comfort. Let it be an act of self-kindness at the end of your day. Your body is wise, and your needs are worthy. By giving yourself this gentle nourishment, supported by both tradition and science, you invite a sense of peace, healing, and renewed energy for tomorrow. Tonight, as you sip your warm golden milk, chamomile tea, or whatever gentle drink you choose, know that you're not just filling your cup. You're filling your life with comfort, care, and the possibility of truly restful sleep, something every woman deserves, at every age. Now that you know why a warm bedtime drink can make such a difference, let's talk about how you can easily bring this gentle habit into your own life. The beauty of this solution is its simplicity. It doesn't require expensive ingredients, complicated routines, or any special equipment. It's about a few minutes of calm, a little care, and an open heart. When to drink. For best results, try to have your drink about 30 minutes before bedtime. This gives your body time to absorb the calming nutrients and lets the warmth signal to your mind that it's time to slow down. You don't have to watch the clock or set a timer. Just make it a small, pleasant part of your nightly wind down, a little ritual to mark the transition from the busy world to your own peaceful space. Simple recipe: golden milk for bedtime. Here's an easy recipe for golden milk, but feel free to adjust the ingredients to what you enjoy or have on hand. The key is to keep it warm, gentle, and free of refined sugar. You'll need 1 cup of milk. Dairy or unsweetened almond milk works well. 1 teaspoon ground turmeric. 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon. 1/2 teaspoon honey, optional, or use a few drops of stevia for a sugar-free option. A small pinch of black pepper to help your body absorb the turmeric. Don't worry, you won't taste it. Optional, a slice of fresh ginger for extra warmth and digestion. How to prepare. Pour the milk into a small pot and add turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper, and ginger if you're using it. Heat gently over low heat. Don't let it boil. Stir until everything is mixed and the milk is warm and golden. Pour it into your favorite cup and add a little honey if you'd like. Take a moment to enjoy the soothing scent before you take your first sip. The warmth is comforting. The spices are subtle but calming. This isn't just about nourishing your body, it's about nurturing your spirit. A few words of advice. Always drink your bedtime beverage warm, not hot or cold. The gentle warmth soothes your throat, helps relax your body, and signals to your nervous system that it's time to settle in for the night. If you're concerned about sugar, choose a natural sweetener or skip it altogether. Over time, you may find you love the taste just as it is, earthy, soft, and deeply reassuring. Additional tips for a restful night. This nightly drink works even better when paired with a few simple, calming habits. After you've finished your cup, set aside screens and electronics. Phones, TVs, and tablets can all disrupt your natural sleep hormones. Instead, reach for a gentle activity. Read a few pages from a favorite book. Listen to calming music or soft nature sounds. Practice a few deep, slow breaths. Inhale gently through your nose, and exhale even slower. Write a sentence or two in a gratitude journal about something good that happened during the day, no matter how small. Dim the lights. Pull up your favorite blanket. Let the quiet fill your home, even if only for a few minutes. These small acts of care prepare both body and mind for deep rest. Over time, they become gentle anchors, little reminders that you are safe, that the day is done, and that it's perfectly okay to let go. Don't worry if it doesn't work perfectly the first night, or if your mind still wanders for a while. Habits take time, and your body needs to learn that it can trust this new, kinder routine. The important thing is that you're showing up for yourself, creating a space of peace in a world that so often feels hurried and noisy. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire life or follow every piece of advice perfectly. Sometimes, the most powerful change is the simplest one. A warm drink, a quiet room, a few deep breaths, and a moment to let yourself be. With a little patience, you might just find that restful sleep and brighter mornings are within reach, one gentle cup at a time. Let me share the story of Mrs. Helen, a woman whose gentle determination and open heart brought about a quiet but beautiful change in her life. At 72, Helen was, by all appearances, the sort of neighbor everyone wanted. Kind, thoughtful, quick to laugh. She spent her days tending her small rose garden and exchanging warm greetings with everyone on her block. Yet, beneath her bright smile, Helen was wrestling with a struggle that many women her age know all too well. She could not sleep through the night. For years, Helen would drift off at bedtime only to wake a few hours later, restless and achy. Sometimes it was her legs cramping, sometimes her thoughts spinning with worries she couldn't quiet. The next morning, she often felt groggy and heavy, moving through the day in a fog. "It's just part of getting older," she would tell herself, echoing what her friends often said over coffee. Still, she longed for the easy, unbroken sleep she remembered from her younger years. The fatigue, she realized, was slowly chipping away at her energy and joy. She found herself skipping walks with friends and saying no to outings she once loved, simply because she was too tired. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One evening, after yet another sleepless night, Helen confided in her daughter, who gently suggested she try a small experiment. To make herself a warm cup of golden milk every night before bed and pair it with a bit of quiet time just for herself. No phone, no TV, just a gentle book or some soft music. Skeptical but willing, Helen agreed to try it for 3 weeks. The first few nights, she felt unsure. The golden milk, with its earthy aroma and gentle heat, was unfamiliar at first, but comforting. She noticed that the very act of making the drink, heating the milk, stirring in the turmeric and cinnamon, watching the steam rise, helped her slow down after a busy day. She sat in her favorite chair, sipped slowly, and listened to the steady tick of her kitchen clock. For once, she wasn't rushing to finish a chore or answer a message. After about a week, Helen began to notice a subtle difference. She still woke up occasionally, but her body felt calmer, her mind quieter. She fell back asleep more easily, and by morning, she felt a little more refreshed. By the end of the 3rd week, something wonderful had happened. Helen was sleeping almost through the night. The aches in her legs had lessened, and her mornings felt lighter. Her first steps out of bed no longer stiff and hesitant, but steady and strong. The fog that had clouded her days began to lift. She found herself saying yes to morning walks again, joining her friends in the park, and tending her garden with new energy. Her laughter came more easily. She felt like herself again. Helen often says now that the golden milk is more than just a drink. It's a promise to herself to slow down, to care for her well-being with kindness and intention. She looks forward to her nightly ritual, not only for the sleep it brings, but for the sense of peace and comfort it offers at the close of each day. Her story is a gentle reminder that sometimes, change doesn't come in grand gestures or sweeping resolutions, but in the small, loving acts we do for ourselves each day. For Helen, a simple cup of golden milk became the doorway to better nights, brighter mornings, and a renewed sense of hope. If you're struggling, too, know that you're not alone. Like Helen, you can permit yourself to try something new, to trust in the power of small changes, and believe that better rest and brighter days are possible at any age. As we come to the end of this gentle journey together, I want to remind you that restful sleep and renewed strength are not out of reach, no matter your age or how many restless nights you've endured. Sometimes, it's the smallest changes, a warm cup before bed, a moment of peace, a little extra kindness to yourself, that quietly begin to shift the whole landscape of your days and nights. Think of what we've explored today. How a simple bedtime drink, made with love and intention, can comfort your body, soothe your mind, and gently guide you toward the restorative rest you deserve. The science is real, but so are the stories. Women like Helen who rediscovered the joy of waking up refreshed and ready to embrace life again, all through a small act of self-care each night. You are not alone in your struggles or your hopes. Every woman who has found her way to better sleep and brighter mornings has done so one gentle step at a time. Tonight, permit yourself to try something new. Let the warm scent of golden milk or chamomile tea wrap around you like a soft blanket. Enjoy the quiet, the comfort, and the promise that comes with caring for yourself. If you've learned something valuable from this video, or if you're inspired to begin your bedtime ritual, I'd love to hear from you. Share your experiences or your questions in the comments below. And if this video has brought you hope, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, so you never miss a new idea for living well, sleeping deeply, and waking stronger every day. You deserve peaceful nights and vibrant mornings. Here's to you, and the gentle power of small, loving changes.